The biggest setback for posh party boys, Saurav Das, Deep State Dipke, and Exap Ranka will be the passing of the FCRA bill and delimitation. The biggest answer for these people, for the Tukre gang, those who tried to burn parliament, the biggest slap for them will be the expansion of the Parliament of India, which they wanted to ravage. The biggest setback for those who wanted to destroy the Parliament of India, to ravage the Parliament of India, to burn the Parliament of India, to attack the Parliament of India, will be to expand the Parliament of India. They said in a violent and vicious way outside the Parliament, they said, we will burn everything, we will turn it to Nepal, 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 Nepal.
संसद भवन उखाड़ दिया जाएगा, संसद भवन उखाड़ दिया जाएगा, उखाड़ दिया जाएगा, सब उखाड़ दिया जाएगा, सब कर दिया जाएगा, नेपाल उखाड़ जाएगा, नेपाल, 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 नेपाल बनेगा.
That was their demand, ladies and gentlemen, of the team led by posh party boys, Saurav Das, Exap Ranka and Deep State Dipke. They wanted to ravage Parliament because they hate it. They wanted to ravage the home of democracy, the greatest symbol of Indian democracy. On all the indecent, vulgar hooligans of the CJP, the biggest answer to all the people who used four-letter words to abuse the Indian army.
BJP Indian Army. Delhi Police BJP Indian Army.
I know many of you were angry with that. You have a right to be angry. It hit home to some of you at that point of time when they started abusing the army, that they have a problem with Indian democracy. These are the people. That is the fellow who abused the Indian army. And there were all these wannabe rowdies from Bollywood, out of work. One of them, an actress, who was very happy visiting the Prime Minister and then supporting these goons. The biggest slap for all the anti-nationals will be to expand the Parliament of India. Ladies and gentlemen, the largest democracy in the world, imagine, after delimitation happens, which I hope the government passes in this session. The largest democracy of the world will also have the biggest parliament. Just imagine, these goons who wanted to ravage the parliament, who pointed fingers to unknown influencers who are being paid 65,000 rupees per post to abuse India. Never forget what these people did. These goons who wanted to ravage the parliament will now be part of a Bharat which is not only the largest, youngest democracy, but also with the largest parliament. So I appeal to the government to pass delimitation in this session. Bring in a parliament with more representation. And finally, after delimitation, one nation, one poll, which will be the best thing for India's governance. And then the real youth will take over. Nationalists will take over. This Tukre Umar Khalid loving deep state brigade better shut up and sit down. Sit down. Deep state chamchas must sit down. Because the fact is, and I'm saying the government must go into all-out mode. The government must pass the women's bill, must pass FCRA, but most importantly, must pass delimitation, must expand the Parliament of India, is because we spend so much on conducting two separate electoral processes. By-elections, general elections, state elections. And it's a huge distraction. Imagine the resources and the time it consumes, because there are resource exhaustive efforts, money-wise and time-wise. Delimitation is the best thing for India. And the government must pass delimitation. The NDA, we are told, is at 349. I appeal to the government to pass delimitation, to pass the women's bill, and here are the numbers, to do everything possible to get 354. Delimitation must be passed because it restored one nation, one vote. It ends the 55-year freeze on the 71 census baseline. It enables the long-standing, long-delayed implementation of the 33% women's reservation, the Nari Shakti Vandan Adhiniyam. It expands the Lok Sabha towards 850 seats, truly representative, and it strengthens India's democratic legitimacy by making the parliament refer and reflect today's demographic reality, not the India of 1971. Now, while the opposition has worked, what the opposition wanted was to use the deep state elements, the Tukre brigade, the vulgar, perverse CJP, to distract from this effort to pass these important legislations. When people asked me, why is all of this happening before the parliament session? I'm saying because they don't want the FCRA bill passed. They don't want delimitation passed. They don't want the women's bill passed. And those people who thought that meeting the CJP was a moment of surrender, no, it was a master stroke. It was a master stroke to take one step back to make sure that these three important pieces of legislation are passed. So now let me show you the numbers once again. The real story are the numbers. The government has been very patient and everybody is meeting everybody. If you think the government's not meeting, let me tell you, in the middle of all that, Prime Minister Narendra Modi met Sharad Pawar and met Supriya Sule. This meeting did happen. Politics has been happening. Here's the pictures of that meeting, very cordial. I believe Sharad Pawar will be supporting the government. Then there was a meeting recently between Nirmala Sitharaman and a DMK MP. I don't know, perhaps it's not linked to the politics of the numbers in Parliament, but it's entirely possible, ladies and gentlemen, that the DMK will also support the government towards delimitation. So who's going to have the last laugh? The government is to move towards 354. The government presently with DMK is at 349, and that number is tantalizingly close to the 2/3 mark. That's the inside info I want to share with you. The DMK is agreeing to back the BJP's delimitation bill. So reconsider what happened and forget CJP. The real process of building the country starts now. The CJP's ugly perversions are over. We need to bring the country together. Nationalists come together. Let's expand Parliament. That's going to be our answer to all those people there who wanted to ravage the Parliament of India. All those deep state elements of the CJP, the country will never forgive you. But we will move forward for now. We will move forward for now. And remember, the biggest setback for those who wanted to destroy Parliament will be to expand it.